Nakamura Sumire had left Japan. Last month, she decided to make a big change in her career, leaving her home country. And to understand why, we will have to start with her history. Nakamura Sumire was raised in a family where Go was everywhere. Her father was a professional Go player, and her mother was a Go teacher. Her whole family followed the way of Go, and because of it, Go became a big and important part of her whole life. When we try to talk about her first steps in this game, it's a little hard, because at the early age of 9, she was already playing with the top female player in the world, her idol and the queen of Go in our era, Choi Young. This was an exhibition match that Nakamura was invited, and after the game, she noticed that the road ahead for her was still very long. But if we search for stories that are before that, there is one that I really like and was told by Fujisawa Arena. 3 years before that, she posted on Twitter a little message talking about an amateur tournament. She said that the winner was Nakamura Sensei's daughter, Nakamura Sumire. It seems like she's not even 6 years old yet, but her Go skills and concentration were so amazing that I couldn't believe she was 5 or 6 years old. And she was so cute. Yeah, Fuso Arena had been pretty nice with uh, Nakamura her whole life, and she even told in another story that in one of her last tournaments, when she was amateur, she played with Nakamura's mother, and she really remembers that, and that's why she was talking about Nakamura Sensei's daughter. Okay, let's stop this and let's go to her pro career. 1 year after playing with Choi Young, she started having a long stream of records. She got to be the youngest professional player in the history of Japan at 10 years old in 2019. The next year, she was the youngest player to win in a first round of a major tournament. In 2021, she was the youngest player to get to second dan with only 12 years old. In 2022, she was the youngest one to get to a final in a big tournament, the Female Beijing, where she lost against Fujisawa Arena. Eh, she really likes Nakamura. She always talk about her like a little sister, and she even introduced Nakamura to Detective Conan because she cool. But that this same year, 2022, she was the youngest pro to get to 100 victories, beating other of the Chochikun's record that had been waiting for more than 50 years. Okay, this same year, she got to the second big tournament final, and to get to that place, she had to beat Fujisawa's Arena, the top female of Japan, the top female player of Japan at that time. But even if 2022 had more highlights, she even won her first tournament, a very small tournament, the Discovery Cup, but it's a win. I will say that the biggest news happened 1 year later. In 2023, Nakamura Sumire took a major title. She really broke by a long margin this record, like years. She did this with 13 years and 11 months, almost 14 years, and she became the youngest title holder in the history of Japan. Okay, these are her records. So why now, after only 4 years of being a professional player, she decided to leave Japan? But to understand this, we have to start reviewing her past. And it's important to notice that in her career, Nakamura has already left her go home. Nakamura started being a professional player in the Kansai Kin. It's a branch of the Japanese Go Association that is way smaller than the most famous one, the Nihon Kin. But in her desire to play with better players, she asked to change her association and went to the Nihon Kin to be able to be in contact with the strongest players of Japan. And this was a part of how she sees her Go career. She's doing everything in her power to get better, to be able to soar even higher. Even if in the past had happened that a player goes to other country to be professional, this is a first in history. A time when a Japanese player goes to Korea to play in that association, and there are reasons because of that. In the past, this has happened. Okay, just for your knowledge, if you don't know, Tsuchikun is one of the greatest exponents of Japanese Go in the history. We have already talked about him a lot of time in this video, even if this is not his video. Okay, but he's Korean. Other cases of this will be Rinai Wei, Yushenki, Sushi Iwan. There are players that are playing in a federation that is not their home country one. But this is the first time that the Japanese goes to Korea. Okay, the reason of this is not because Japan Go is still strong in Asia. Let's be honest, in the last few decades, they're not even near the top two. Okay? But the issue is that the catch prices in Japan are way better than in China or Korea. If you take this and also say the players are a little weaker, you could have a way better life if you are strong and you stay in Japan. So it doesn't matter if in the international tournaments you are not doing pretty well, because most of your money will come from local tournaments. So money cannot be the reason to leave Japan. But to the young Japanese racing star, that is not the important issue. She wants to be better, okay? And to be better, she thinks that this is not the place. She wants to shine brighter and to be a bigger star that she's now. She needs to play with the best players of her era. And that's the issue. They are not in Japan. Nakamura nowadays is 22nd female player in the world. And she was the fourth young female pro. But the problem is that she's one step behind of her biggest opponents, or I don't know, the people that she want to beat. If we see the head to head of her with, I will say, her biggest rivals, you could see that she had played with Kim Eun-ji, the top female youth player in the world, 5 times and had never won. And once Wu Jiming, the second top female youth in the world, had played 6 times. And try to guess it, she has also gotten 0 victories. Well, against Choi Young, she had only played 2 times and also only loses, but that's pretty normal. So we could say that this is the main reason that got her to decide to travel. But now this leaves a question. Could this young prodigy make Korea her place to get better? Or will her be one more female player that is going to live at the shadows of the Go Queen, Choi Young? If she stayed in Japan, she would have been the best in the country. Everybody thought of it. But for her, being the best Japanese female player in the history was not enough. Because staying there, she thought that she won't arrive to the future she's hoping for. The future that she's trying to get. To be the best, you have to play against the best. You have to fight against the top players and beat them. That's what had made tons of players in most sport move in the past. Now, the history repeats itself. Not for money, not for recognition, just for the hunger for the better. And not just be a big fish in a small pond, but to be, I don't know, the Leviathan traveling on the seas. Nakamura went to Korea with dreams of kindness, getting in a road that looks way harder than if she had decided to just stay in her home country. But isn't this the way that the greatest histories start? Now we're still reading the first chapters of her history of her book, and we're just knowing the characters and the plot. There is a way long road to its climax and the end of this history. So now we will have to wait and see how this history writes itself. Will Nakamura be able to get to the place she wants, or she will crumble in the pressure and the level of Korea? This is a new story, and this will be a new chapter. Goodbye.